I want to ask everyone here a quick survey. I want to ask you this. When you think back 10, 15 years versus now, do you feel that you're working harder than you used to work? Do you feel you're working longer hours? Who feels like you're working longer hours than you used to work? Or you always were working longer hours? Who feels there's more stress in life than there used to be? Who feels there's more stress? Who feels you don't have enough time for your loved ones and not enough time to take care of yourself? Who feels that? Okay. I've asked those questions all over this country, and essentially every audience responds the same way. So here we are in a great country with people who work hard, the most productive, hardworking people on earth, and yet people feel more stress in their lives, that they have less and less time, and they're not getting their fair share back for all that hard work. Now, my friends, I wish I could tell you that all that was happening just by coincidence or by accident. But I have to be very blunt with you, and this is one of the things we have to talk about during this election season and this chance to take stock of our country. All those things are happening because of an agenda. And it stretches all the way back to Ronald Reagan, and it goes right up to the huge tax cuts for the wealthy and the corporations that just happened under the current president. You see an agenda that has been about putting money in the hands of those who are already wealthy and powerful and taking it from the people who did all the work. And it is so painful to watch people work this hard and not get rewarded. So that's what's been happening in our country. That's what our federal government has been doing, aiding and abetting more and more money going to the wealthy, to the 1%. And now I'll just say something brief about the current reality in the White House. Look, everyone, Shalane and I can tell you, we've been watching Donald Trump for decades. A lot of you only got to see him the last few years. New Yorkers, we've been watching him for decades. He's a con man.
Yeah.
He's a con man, let's be clear. Constantly, when something's going bad, he changes the topic.
Right.
He tries to distract you. He tries to con you every single time. I call him Con Don, because that's who he is. And the good news for all of us as Americans is the game is up. People are seeing through it. Working people realize they got conned. He told them he was on the side of working people. He's actually been on the side of the wealthy and the corporations.
Right.
Well, I know how to take on this guy. I've been watching him for a long time. I've challenged him before, many a time. And I know how to stand up to him. And the most important thing is to understand he's just like any other schoolyard bully. You don't cower in front of the bully, you confront him. You take him on. The bully doesn't know what to do when you confront him. They don't know what to do. And what I saw in that room was a strong response to a message that's about working people, but also a very powerful response to what Shalane said about mental health. And when Shalane's out there telling people what's been done in New York and how we need to do that all over the country to destigmatize mental health, it gets a very powerful emotional response, because I think a lot of people are waiting for someone to finally talk about it and bring it out in the open.
And his message is putting working people first. That's what moved to me, working people first. They have felt left behind under this present administration, but with this new blood coming, I think that that's going to move the country. And I think that he will be a very good president because he cares about the American people.
I think first question's going to go to Bradley at the Times now.
Yeah.
Mayor, this is your third visit here
Yes.
to the city. I just want to know what you have been taking back from each of your visits and kind of implementing into the cloth of your campaign.
Look, South Carolina is absolutely crucial, and if you're talking about South Carolina, you have to talk about Orangeburg as the center of the action, and this is such an important place, but not just because of its political impact, but because things are happening here. I've watched with tremendous appreciation the way the Democratic Party here in Orangeburg County is building, bringing in a lot more young people, building a stronger apparatus. I've watched what Mayor Butler has done to deepen that bench of folks who are getting involved in the community. This is very, very powerful. This is how this state will change and this country will change. So I'm taking a lot of inspiration from Orangeburg.